Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, so next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi. I'm honored to be haunted by the lights of sea. Part 1. Seated in my morning coffee, glaring at me through grassy surface there, the way she sails. Crystal can't tell how long she's been here, but she knows what will happen if she's here much longer. Her mind's still solid through every needle, click, fast, and goddamn word from her psychotic coppers. She has focused on what makes her feel real. The coughing along her wrists, the weight of her fluttering, the sound of her own labored breathing. Most of all, though, white hot and settled down deep in her gut, it's the waves that keeps her going. She is cold, she is sobbing, her head is pounding, but fuck is she pissed. Weasel has always been the type to toy with danger, to balance on that tightrope between fearing and overwhelming. She knows herself. She knows her own head. Knows stubbornness, defiance, and reluctantness. And yet, every day that this continues, she feels herself fading more and more. Her vision has been spotty for days. Her muscles feel weak and she hates how much she's trembling because that's what they want. They want her to shake. They want her to succumb to her fear. They want a scared little girl who's way in over her head, but she would have died than give them the satisfaction. She would have died. The going of the middle door is what has Weasel siphoning in her chair. As alert as he can be, heavy footsteps echo through the room. Only one set of them. And immediately Weasel knows that something is very wrong here. A sense of dread tingles up her spine. Weasel! Nathan's smile is shaky when he looks at her, nervous and jittery. Far from the confident front he puts up when he's following Jefferson around. That's in you and me today. For a split second, there are two of him boiling together in front of her. It takes a moment for her head to stop spinning. She doesn't speak, just grills at him with as much intensity as she can muster. Weasel coughs, dry and hollow. When she speaks, her voice is a hushed whisper. Eat shit. Her foot is scratching in wall. Each syllable serves to remind her how dehydrated she's been. You really are beautiful, Wace. Nathan sighs and throws back to the ground. I couldn't let this opportunity slip away. He strips a pair of gloves on and goes about setting up. Weasel could see Jefferson in his movements. Cocky, excited. But there's something else still, too. Something that makes Weasel's skin crawl. To get a better look at him when he approaches her. His pinpoint pupils or darting around too fast. And the weasel scoots bumps up her arms from the cold beads of sweat drip down Nathan's forehead. What the hell are you on? Weasel asks. He brings her hand to her cheek, and for the first time in days, she flinches. She doesn't know what it is, but something about this moment feels final. One of Nathan's fingers softly traces that sore spot on her neck. Don't worry, I'd be much more gentle than him. His hand twisted as he lifts the needle, and in seconds, Weasel is losing consciousness. Her mind has been solid, but her body has been fading for a while. She tries to fight it. She knows she could get out of here if she just stays awake. This is her chance. With Gibson not around, Nathan is already getting sloppy. He drew close to her. He isn't afraid of her. He thinks she weak. If she could move, she lunged forward, jammed her head into his nose until he breathed all over the pristine white floors, making him feel every fiber of her waves that's been building up since he slipped something into her drink at that stupid party. She grabbed his phone. Finally get a call out to Mass or Chloe and everything would be okay. All she has to do is stay awake. But this time, it's 2 months. The pounding in Weasel's head begins to fade. Everything begins to fade. Her breathing goes hollow, and she starts to get colder. That heat in her stomach begins to cool. All she has to do is stay awake. But this time, she can't. She tries to scream, move, do anything. She's just too tired. Everything is blurry. She could feel herself drifting off. All she could do is hope that the people she's leaving behind will be okay, and hope that the people she wanted to know her truly knew her. As her eyes begin to fall sight, something over Nathan's shoulder catches her gaze. A small blur of blue flutters and around Gibson's monitor. A butterfly. She thinks. The shade of sapphire blue that only makes her heart cringe. For a moment, it almost seems like it's coming toward her. But her eyes close and she is swallowed by darkness, dying alone with her simmering away in anger. Weasel blinks awake with a series of dry coughs. Her eyes and throat burning as she suits up. The wind howls around her, and the wing drops slap down hard on her skin, unrelenting. It's too loud, almost like she's in the middle of a hurricane. When her coughing dies down into gasping breaths, her eyes meet the panicked figure above her, frozen with a pile of wet dirt in his arms. You're alive! Nathan pales, lightning flashes in the distance. Something sparks to life inside of her, dense and smothering. It washes over her like a hot stream of water, oddly. Feeling starts to come back to her limbs, one tingling nerve at a time. Thunder rumbles around them as Weasel takes a sharp breath through her nose. It smells of blood and sweat and rot. It's rigid. She gags, her empty stomach clenching as she trembles in the mud, cold and afraid. She can almost still hear the clicks of the camera, so see the buried figures and the cameras flashing. She could feel her calf and bleeding wrists and the sore spot on the side of her neck. But she's alive! Weasel lifts a mud-caked hand and squeezes it shut into her fist. Her unkempt nails nearly break Frazzle's skin, and the pounding rain hurts. But she can feel it. She doesn't know how long it's been since she's felt anything but the still cold of Jeff Sin's twisted dark realm. She presses her palm to her chest. Her heartbeat thumps, faint but there, and she chokes out a sob. She shouldn't be alive. All she remembers is being cold and dying. Yet here she is, living and brooding in a sour grave. No, 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 no! Nathan stands above her, his head jerking around too quickly. She remembers the moments before she blacked out, how dizzy she already was when he approached her, how he caressed her throat with his own sick version of love in his movements, how his entire arm twists when he grabbed the needle, and then when he buried it into her flesh while his steady palm cupped her cheek. She remembers starting to die at his hands, wishing more than anything that she could just stay awake, as he could take control of her body back and slam her head into his nose over and over again, until bone cracked and he bled, until he soaked, the both of them in red. She wants to break him like he tried to break her. The spark inside of her grows, festering into an inferno, into a wildfire. Fuck this! Nathan drops the dirt in his hand, flies towards the back of his soaked jeans. Rachel knows what he is reaching for before he pulls it out, and on instinct, her eyes freeze shut and her hands fly up to do something. Anything against the incoming bullet. There's a bright fast, a deafening boom, and Nathan falls limb. She smells him before she sees him. The scent of his fresh, burning inning is like leather over a flame. She gasps again at the scent, thick and wisps. Almost a taste. As he opens her eyes, she almost wishes that she didn't. His body is discolored and charred, and puddles of smoke rose from his clothes. His gun sent in its unmoving hand, his knuckles spit with charred meat bursting out. The air around them crackles with electricity. Lisa looked down at her palms, eyes wide. They warm. Ice cold rain pets her skin as self-warm warmth spreads through her. What the fuck? She yipes, huffing over and into the mud. The thunder booms again, louder this time, and Lisa flinches. Fuck! Okay! I'm okay. I'm alive and I'm okay, she mumbles to herself, her hands trembling as she digs herself out. Her gaze flickers between Nathan's body and her own two hands. Was that just a lucky break from Mother Nature? Or did she do that? She's not sure if she wants to know the answer. Her muscles are stiff and she's half buried, but the warmth from her hands quickly spreads throughout her arms, and she just barely manages to claw her way out. If I didn't waken up any later, she thinks with a shudder. When Rachel finally gets a good look at her surroundings, at the abandoned cars, the broken appliances, the hideout, the white hot fire roars on further. She stands, hushed and breathing heavily. Bruises and dirt littering her skin and her clothes. God who knows how long she's been in these clothes. And she spit what little survival she can muster onto Nathan's trusting body. When the lightning strikes again, right on the center of his back, the torn remains of his shirt catch fire briefly. Wandering on for a moment, even in the pouring rain. The smell of burning flesh always strengthens. Weasel jumps back, frightened, and the moment she does, the flame dies. What the fuck? She stumbles back as her legs give out under her. Her legs stream at her when she tries to get up. The warmth starts to fade. Fuck! 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 There's no way she'd be able to make it back home on her own. She doesn't know how long she's been gone, but the way her head is spinning is telling her that she's barely alive right now. A cold twist of fate. She finally free, but she probably die here before anyone realizes she's okay. The wind pours down harder, only making her body heavier, as she seconds away from attempting to crawl back to Blackwell when she sees it. A familiar change of blue in the center of her eye. A little butterfly, vibrant blue and bright flapping away under the dark downpour, as if the hurricane around them can't even touch it. It lands atop Weasel's nose, and she has to cross her bloodshot eyes to look at it. It's eerily still, and something about this moment feels big, as if it's praising her. Weasel's brow follows, and when in a split second, it flies away. Her eyes follow it, captivated. It lands daintily on a bag. Nathan's backpack. As quickly as she can, Weasel hovers toward it on her hands and knees, and nearly whips it open. She knows the strain of her muscles, the ringing in her head, and the way that the butterfly soars away into the sky. She just digs through the bag, hope it ignited in her chest. She finds something of use quickly under Nathan's jacket. A phone. Please turn on, she begs, pressing the button with as much force as she can muster. Her hands begin to tingle again, getting warmer and warmer until they start to spark. She yipes, dropping the device onto the dirt. What in the... The phone screen flickers. Once, twice, then stays on. Weasel nearly sobs when she reaches for it. As quickly as she can manage, she dials on numbers she had memorized for what feels like forever now. It rings only once before someone picks up. Chloe flicks her lighter as she holds it in to the end of her joint and gags yards in annoyance as it fails to produce anything more than a weak spot. She tosses it off of her bed and it lands to sigh in Max's leg as he lays across the floor next to Chloe's bed. Max doesn't react, just taps her foot against Chloe's skateboard, in tune with the gentle rhythms flowing quietly from Chloe's phone. Chloe wets the unsmoked joint on her ashtray with a sigh and flops down onto her pillows. She and Max have had plenty of nights like this since it happened. Listening to Weasel's playlists, and just giving each other the space and time to moan. More. Grieve? No. Grieving implies she knew that Chloe won't even consider. What they're doing isn't mourning. They're just missing her. Chloe could probably count the number of productive conversations she and Max have had in the past few months on one hand. But being close to her just helps after everything. Even if they just listening to the music and reminding each other to eat and get some ale every once in a while. They really spend a moment apart these days. They both struggling with the same loss, after all. Corey's eyes strain at the far end. She quickly blinks any approaching tales away. She closes her eyes and makes a fragile attempt to lose herself in the gentle memories of Rachel's personally patented hideout playlist, and the music of the wind whipping around outside the half-open window. With the wind, though, comes the sudden pelting of raindrops on the glass and the sound of a downpour hitting the pavement. Corey blindly grabs for her phone with an arm thrown over her eyes and turns up the volume. And then that she hears it, the deafening boom of a nearby thunder, and a near silent flopping in her ear. Corey jumps with a yipe, her eyes shooting open and immediately narrowing in on the vibrant sapphire butterfly perched on the tip of her phone. "The fuck?" she mumbles under her breath. She could see Max begin to stir from the corner of her eye. The butterfly doesn't move, and in between the soft pianos drifting through the speaker on her city phone, something strange filters through. A silent buzzing coming in and out of focus with a muffled voice cutting in and out. Chloe's eyes go wide. She brings the phone closer to her face. Her brow furrows as she stands to hear the voice clearer. Turning up her phone to Matt's phone. On! Heart stutters over itself. She finally reaches out for Matt until she feels the fabric of that gray cherry between her fingers. That voice! It couldn't be! The phone nearly falls from her grip with her movement, and through it all, the butterfly doesn't move an inch. The buzzing begins to filter out through the bright melody of a violin, and the voice becomes just that much clearer. What in the... Chloe, you can... hear her too, right? Master's voice shakes, heavy with something Chloe can't read discern. It's familiar, but the heartbeat thumping much too loudly between her ears make it hard for her to focus. Tell me you can hear her too, Chloe, please. Oh, wait. Chloe recognized the weight in Master's voice. It's Hope. For the first time in a long time, it's Hope. Chloe only barely registers the familiar click and roll of a camera as the music comes to a dead stop. The butterfly flutters its wings, and in an instant it's gone, gasping through the window just as fast as Chloe managed it came, and leaving only one thing in its wake. A phone that sits heartbreakingly silent for a moment before it begins to vibrate when an incoming call. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!